Vance, Doreen Gensler, Bob Ryan Weather, and George Michael Sports.
Tonight, local police are doing their part to keep it a safe prom night. Good evening. I'm Jim Vance.
And I'm Doreen Gensler. It's a Friday night in May. That means hundreds of teenagers are out attending proms. But this year, there's more of an effort than ever to stop drinking and driving on prom night. News 4's Doug McElway is live at a police roadblock in Rockville. Doug?
Doreen, police are hoping that this sobriety checkpoint will be an effective reminder of the dangers of drinking and driving to young teens who are headed out to their proms tonight. And what they have done is set up a very effective mock accident. Now, in addition to all of these police cruisers with their lights flashing, I want you to look over here. They have brought in an automobile, this red car over here, that was actually involved in a drunken driving fatality in Montgomery County a year ago. That is the car that actor Phil Lewis struck, in which a woman was killed over a year ago. Beyond that, a rescue squad truck, and in front of it, a dummy lying on a stretcher. This is a very powerful image, of course, a powerful visual image. But despite this, the message is already getting through to teens going to proms. The scene is the popular Cheesecake Factory on Wisconsin Avenue, chock full of formally attired prom-bound teens. The tuxedos are a dead giveaway to waitresses that they are too young to be served. But these Gaithersburg High students seem resigned to the new reality of sobriety on prom night.
I know that there's going to be some parties like after the prom, but I have no idea if they have alcohol. Most parties we have don't.
We're not going to any parties. Really. It sounds a little, but it's true. We're just going to go to the prom.
Under the glare of television lights, you'd expect those kinds of answers. But even when pressed, the answers were the same. What's going to be going on there?
Good wholesome stuff. Yep.
Huh?
Good wholesome stuff. No alcohol.
Later at the Bethesda Marriott, where both Gaithersburg High and Georgetown Prep held their prom, police told us that years of springtime sobriety checkpoints are paying off.
We've been doing this for about 10 years with the sobriety checkpoints, and we have seen the numbers reducing, which is good. We are finding that there are a lot of designated drivers. Unfortunately, it is still illegal for people under 21 to drink alcohol.
It's just not worth the hassle, said one student.
When I left my house this evening, I talked to my mother, and I was kind of worried myself because I didn't want to get involved in an accident myself. And I'm kind of glad that it's like that because I don't drink and drive, and to all y'all out there in TV land, I advise y'all not to do it either.
Now, face it, it's very easy to sugarcoat these issues. Very few teens are going to admit to you on live television or on tape television that they're going to go out drinking after the prom. But in fact, some of them will. And as if to prove that point, I talked with the security guard at the Marriott Hotel where this prom was going on tonight, and he told me just a few minutes ago he pulled a stash of alcohol and beer out of the bushes just very nearby the room where the prom was going on. So it happens, of course, but it certainly is a changed atmosphere from the time when you and I were in high school. Jim, Doreen, back to you.
Thank you, Doug. Tonight, investigators say they have not ruled out arson as the cause of a terrible fire at a townhouse in Manassas. It was a fire in which one hearing-impaired man had to fight through the flames to save his family. Pat Collins has our report.
The Bull Run townhouse development in Manassas. This is what it looked like today, and this is how it got that way. It began in the dark hours of the morning. The fire so wild that at times you couldn't really see what was burning.
When our units got on the scene, they reported that that whole building of origin was fully involved and flames were shooting 30 to 40 feet in the air.
It started in a row of townhouses under construction and then jumped to occupied homes across the way. 3 people injured, 1 man critically burned. With the light of day, residents returned to assess the damage. This is what's left of Gerard Callahan's home. Gerard is 32 years old. He's hearing impaired, and he fought the flames in order to rescue his wife and 2 children. He suffered first-degree burns on his back.
I'm not everything. No clothes, no shoe, baby toy, nothing. I'm not everything.
Let me give you some idea of how hot this fire was. It started in these townhouses under construction here, but the heat was so intense that it melted the siding on these homes about 100 feet away. Investigators say they found no evidence that this fire was an accident. Right now, they're describing it as suspicious. I'm Pat Collins, News 4 Manassas.
The damage estimate in that fire has been set at more than $1 million.
Tonight, a word of caution for you on a story that shows you might not want to turn your back on your microwave oven. In Richland, Minnesota, Frances Serrani is showing off the hole in the wall where her microwave used to be, and she's sounding an alarm about using paper towels in the microwave. She says her oven exploded when she used Bounty paper towels to cook some baked potatoes.
I set them for 7 minutes. I walked on deck to let my dogs out. I stayed out there with them. The next thing I know, my daughter's telling me she called the fire department.
Bounty does carry a warning label saying that any paper product can burn if used improperly in microwave or conventional ovens. Experts also say that recycled paper products shouldn't be used in the microwave because they may contain bits of metal that could damage a microwave oven.
President Clinton is taking the offensive tonight in trying to stop his eroding popularity. In a White House news conference today, the president bristled at suggestions that he doesn't have a clear-cut policy towards Bosnia. The president has reportedly given up any idea of taking military steps right now. He says the U.S. will not go it alone. And so far, the European allies have refused to take action. Mr. Clinton defended himself against charges that he's waffling on Bosnia.
I'd just like to ask you what their evidence is. I have a clear policy. I have gotten more done on this than my predecessor did, and maybe one reason he didn't try to do it is because if you can't force everybody to fall in line overnight for people that have been fighting each other for centuries, you may be accused of vacillating. We are not vacillating. We have a clear, strong policy.
Right now, the president is relying on the UN to stop supplies from getting to the Bosnian Serbs, and he is ruling out unilateral airstrikes against Serb artillery positions. But today, the president said he believes the U.S. and the allies may reach agreement within a few days on a common approach to the mess in Bosnia.
News 4's Linda Vester is in Rome tonight. Linda is with us on the telephone. What do you hear about U.S. forces in Europe, Linda?
Good evening, Doreen. This is what I'm hearing from sources here and at the Pentagon. If there is U.S. military involvement, some Army and Air Force installations in Italy could be players, as could U.S. Navy ships presently cruising in the Adriatic. If the order is for airstrikes, which appears unlikely right now, or air cover for ground troops, which appears more likely, Navy fighter jets may come from the aircraft carrier USS Theodore Roosevelt in the Adriatic, and/or Air Force jets may move from bases in Europe to bases here in Italy and fly from here. On the other hand, if there is some order for ground troops, likely in some sort of peacekeeping role, here's who might be called on. Marines, who presently are on the USS Saipan, USS Pensacola, and USS Ponce, assigned to cruise right now just off Dubrovnik. They could easily make an amphibious landing on the Bosnian shore. Or U.S. Army paratroopers could play a role. Some are based at Vicenza, Italy, and they too could easily move to Bosnia. As of right now, it's still anyone's guess what the president will choose to do, but we do know that substantial numbers of military personnel here have been told to be at the ready. Doreen?
All right, Linda Vester live by telephone from Rome tonight.
6 nursery school students are still being held hostage by a gunman in France. It is the second day of a standoff there. The French media reports the vans that pulled up today contained money to pay off the gunman. He's been demanding an $18 million ransom, threatening to set off a bomb if he doesn't get it. 14 children have been released so far, and the teacher was allowed to leave to get food for the children, but she insisted on going back in. She remains a hostage. There is late word that negotiations between the gunman and the French government have reached a stalemate.
Coming up next on News 4, a Cuban boy and his mother survive a harrowing raft trip to freedom. We'll have their story.
Arch Campbell takes a look at Posse and the rest of the movies for the Weekend Movie Guide. And in sports, George.
Stanley Cup playoffs, it's a Game 7. The Penguins and Islanders are in overtime. Believe it or not, the Hornets and the Knicks have gone into double overtime. And in Indianapolis, they're qualifying by challenging the wall as News 4 at 11 is continuing.
The Spring Value Countdown is on now at your Toyota dealer with no down payment and no payments for 90 days on any new Toyota. Pick from 7 Tercels starting under $8,000. There's 5 Corolla sedans, all new for $93,000 and starting under $12,000. Choose from 4 Celicas, some with option savings up to $1,500. Or 2 Paseos priced to sell now. Toyota's No Down Countdown is on now, but there's no time to waste and only one place to go. See your Toyota dealer today.
When you see what AT&T is saying to American business, you might ask yourself an interesting question. Where did all these people go? According to a study by the FCC, AT&T's market share of long-distance service in America is heading in a new direction.
Is this man here to sell you a set of knives? No! It's Ames Price Slashing Sale, Saturday only. Slicing 25% off all men's, women's, and kids' clothing. Dicing 30% off all patio furniture, gas grills, and picnic wear. And 20 to 40% off all furniture. Shopping 20 to 40% off all curtains, sheets, and towels. Carving 60% off fine jewelry with another 25% off your jewelry purchase at the register. Saturday only, cut out for Ames Price Slashing Sale.
In Miami tonight, a mother is fighting for her life in the hospital after she and her young son survived a terrifying trip across the waters between Cuba and Florida. A 10-year-old boy, a Cuban refugee, is being welcomed by his relatives in Miami tonight. He and his mother fled Cuba and floated for 4 days on a homemade raft before they were rescued by a passing cruise ship. His mother is in critical condition in the hospital tonight.
Condition of the mother that I'm aware of, she had her feet in the water so long that it like roasted the feet with the sun and the salt, and then she drank so much water from the seawater and salt, and all the water that they had, they were giving it to the kid.
Photographs taken by the crew of the cruise ship show the condition of the boy and his mother when they were rescued. The captain says their raft was little more than a few pieces of wood tied to some rubber tires. The boy says he feels okay. He just wants his mother out of the hospital. Tonight, dozens of families in the metro area are celebrating the addition of new American citizens. At a ceremony in Alexandria, 43 children received U.S. citizenship. The kids come from 18 different foreign countries and have been adopted into American families. 12 of the children are from Korea, 6 from Romania, and several were from different countries in Latin America.
Tonight, Latinos in the metropolitan area are getting assurances from Mayor Sharon Pratt Kelly that their concerns will be answered in the years to come, no matter who is running the city. The mayor and members of the Latino task force met this afternoon to update the progress of the city's campaign to improve services to Latino people. Task force members want the mayor to promise that any changes made will be permanent.
Implement policies, to write policies and to have those implemented to assure that whatever gains are made through this process are then not lost.
The District of Columbia government did hear the task force loudly and clearly. And while we think we have made progress, and I think everyone acknowledges we've made progress, there's still much to be done.
The mayor is promising to implement changes so they will remain after her administration. However, she did not announce any timetable for specific changes. The Latino task force is threatening to sue the city if they are not satisfied with actions that the city takes.
In Chicago tonight, some people are facing a moral dilemma. Should they turn in thousands of dollars in free found money that came to them on a busy expressway? When packets of money fell out the back door of an armored truck, the scramble was on. Witnesses say people slammed on the brakes, jumped out of their cars, and grabbed the dough. A handful of honest types turned in stacks of money worth $150,000, but tonight, thousands of dollars are still unaccounted for from that armored truck. The armored car company won't say how much cash is unaccounted for, but the company does say anybody who turns in cash will get a reward of 10% of its value.
Would you turn it in?
I would. Yes, I would.
You would?
Yes. And you?
Still to come tonight, angry parents trying to find out why 4th grade kids were shown a porno movie instead of The Little Mermaid.
Oh, my. I hope you're not planning any weather surprises.
Oh, no, nothing like that. We've got a great weekend coming up. We do have some showers to talk about. I'll tell you when they might be. Stay with us.
So there I was, working late, and someone says, "Hey, I thought you were taking your wife for her birthday tonight." Whoa. Hello. I'm in the car 10 seconds later, and you got it, no gas. I mean, why is it you always need gas when you're in a hurry? That's the beauty of this Exxon Express Pay. I pull up, stick my card in here, fill it up with Exxon Supreme, grab my receipt, and I'm gone. Hey, I can make it. Birthday. No gift.
The new Lexus GS Luxury Performance Sedan. It not only corners better than the BMW 535i, but it rides smoother. Of course, if you still insist on feeling every pebble in the road, be our guest. See the GS at your Washington area Lexus dealer. The price is within reach too.
It's Hecht's one-day fine jewelry sale. Saturday only, save 40 to 50% on our entire collection of diamonds, colored stones, 14-karat gold, and cultured pearls. Choose a sapphire, emerald, or ruby marquee ring, now $99.99 each. This 2-carat diamond S-Link tennis bracelet, now $999. And this 1-carat diamond solitaire ring, now $1,999. At Hecht's one-day fine jewelry sale, Saturday only.
That's Hecht's, especially for you.
Okay, Bob, lots of stuff going on this weekend. Everybody wants good weather.
All sorts of outdoor things, too, just like last weekend. And all sorts of festivals, good food out there, a lot of things to do. Whatever you got in mind, weather's going to be fine. We will have some clouds overnight, but it'll be at nighttime. That's the way weekend should be, right? Temperatures around the area today were just about ideal levels. Boy, if you're out from school or whatever, practicing for the Little League, it was perfect. High temperature today made it up to 72 low humidity degrees. Right now, actually, that was a bit below normal. Right now, May is 5 degrees above normal. Current temperature, nice, comfy, 61 degrees, southwesterly wind light. Still a bit of pollen out there, hay fever sufferers. That's the one negative, even with those strong rains that we had a couple days ago. Here we are in Washington, 61 degrees. Greg Cabot, our weather watcher up in Gaithersburg, 54 degrees. Herb Gantz out in Annapolis, 57 degrees. Look at the 50s and 40s up around Mercersburg. So it's going to be another cool night. Look at the temperatures up and down the East Coast. Holton, Maine, 44 degrees, but it's just about ideal, all spots around the east. Let me take you back, show you what's been going on. We've had the area of high pressure coming in over us that's been pushing in the dry air. Still some lingering showers over the last 12 hours that finally have moved out. This is a line of showers, thunder showers, out through Iowa right now. Out around McCook, Nebraska, they had a wind gust to 60 miles per hour. The timing of that area of clouds, you can see it moving our way, is such, though, that it'll be coming in here late tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. So as the little area of low pressure scurries to our north, yes, there will be showers up through Pennsylvania tomorrow afternoon, showers and thunder showers. We'll be in the warm air with southwesterly winds. Then as the front goes through, we'll be getting back into a bit drier air during the day on Sunday. So I think everything is going to work out fine. Showers won't be near us until later on, very, very late tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. And at that, they'll be widely scattered. And meanwhile, more storminess out west. So my weekend forecast for us overnight tonight for the remainder of the night, clear skies, beautiful, beautiful night. Great sleeping weather, great resting up weather. Temperatures late tonight, 40s in some of the cool spots, 55 for you folks in town. Tomorrow, another beautiful day, a lot of sunshine, warmer than today. With southwesterly winds, temperatures will get up to about 80 degrees. Clouds coming in late tomorrow, and tomorrow night will be cloudy, a slight chance of a brief passing sprinkle, that's all. And then while you sleep through it, the clouds will move on out so that Sunday, once again, I think we'll be back in the sunshine with at least partly sunny skies. If you're heading up toward the north, Pennsylvania and New York, there it will be cloudy. But here, I think we'll be fine with temperatures mid to high 70s with west to northwesterly winds. And next week also, I think we'll see the sunshine continuing on into Monday. And next chance for any rain to really speak of, I think won't be until Wednesday. So everything is looking just great. Great time of the year.
3 nice weekends in a row, too. How lucky can we get?
And the first time it rains on the weekend, then you're going to complain.
Well, okay.
Have
Thanks,
a good one.
Bob.
Have
Me
a good
too.
one.
Would you turn the money in, Bob?
Yes, I would.
We're together on this one.
Sports up next.
The Penguins and Islanders fighting to stay alive in the playoffs. I think I know what George would answer.
Let's find out. Stay tuned.
Sports next.
With all the performance and reliability of a true Hewlett-Packard LaserJet, the new HP LaserJet 4L easily surpasses other low-priced laser printers for the breakthrough price of just $849. The new HP LaserJet 4L printer. Now's the time to make the leap. If it isn't a LaserJet, it's only a laser printer.
The new Lexus GS Luxury Performance Sedan. It not only corners better than the BMW 535i, but it rides smoother. Of course, if you still insist on feeling every pebble in the road, Be our guest. See the GS at your Lexus dealer. The price is within reach, too.
I don't know, people, I guess we were lemmings. We just went along with the group, and, they're signed up. I think the cable is, from our point of view, is worth it just for Crossfire. CNN, weather, also the golf. Now, there's the thing, I'm a keen golfer. Well, I found the service rather good. Would I recommend it to someone? Yes, I would. Now, I don't want to schmooze you, but the fact is that their duty standards are high and they meet them.
Keep on rolling. Once you get a good thing going, why not keep on rolling? And the best way to keep things rolling
is to keep working harder to roll back prices.
Roll back, keep on rolling. Look around. There's a lot more that's a lot less at Walmart.
Gotta keep on rolling. Roll back America.
We never stop rolling back prices. Walmart.
Gotta keep on rolling.
Always the low price. Always.
It's the 90s, and it seems everyone's got an addiction. If you don't have one, you probably know someone who does. It could be alcohol or drugs, or something you wouldn't expect, like video games, golf, chewing gum, even sex. On News 4, we'll look at the addiction some people can't live without, and how these obsessions have become big business. So watch News 4. But be careful, you just might get hooked.
George S. Sports, but first, if a money truck drops a whole bunch of money and you see packs of thousands of dollars, would you keep it?
Talk on right as the bear got hair. Okay. Take the loot and scoot.
Sports, what?
He didn't even avoid the question.
Well, no.
What would you do?
Huh?
What would you do?
What you got there?
All right, listen. Monday, Joe Jacoby holds his 9th annual golf tournament for the benefit of the heart. It's hard to believe nine years, Joe and I. Would you look at the goodies that are here? Yeah. You got golf balls, memo pads.
What does the Pillsbury Doughboy have to do with the golf tournament?
I don't know, but I would assume that he's here. Joe, you didn't tell me what that's for. They've got every sponsor you would want. This is the hat. That's the beautiful hat, and they sent the shirt and everything, right? Yeah. So anyway, it's a tremendous golf tournament. It takes place Monday. That's at the Hidden Creek Country Club. Joe and I are in Jacoby. 9 years of doing that. Right. And I want to make sure before I remind everybody, bring your money Monday, okay? Good for them. Now then, have we got a night of sports tonight, folks? Another down-to-the-wire matchup between the Hornets and the Knicks. They battle into double overtime. Alonzo Mourning, 34 points. The Hornets lead with seconds to go, 108-106. We're at Charlotte Coliseum down in Charlotte. First half, the Knicks in blue. Charles Oakley blows the jam. Tyrone Bogue says, let's run. He dishes off to Johnny Newman. The Hornets jump off to an early 8-point lead in this game. Now move on into the second half. The Knicks, John Starks to Patrick Ewing. Ewing with a power jam after he takes this pass. 32 points for Patrick Ewing. The Knicks would lead by 4. Alan Bristow, the Hornets coach, is saying, wait a minute, guys, we're at home. We are not going to lose to the Knicks here tonight. They go through 1 overtime. Now into double overtime. Alonzo Mourning. It's the battle of the Hoya big men. Georgetown's Patrick Ewing guarding Alonzo Mourning. Mourning, 34 points in second overtime. The Hornets lead 110-106. A couple of seconds to go. That's 110-106. The Hornets with a 4-point lead. The two-time defending Stanley Cup champion Penguins will not have a chance to repeat. The Islanders tonight blow a 3-1 lead late in the game, then rally in overtime to beat Pittsburgh 4-3. Let's go to the Igloo in Pittsburgh. The Penguins in white, clearly the best team in hockey. Watch this hit, please. Kevin Stevens. Oh, did he line that man up?
Oh, my.
Kevin Stevens lined up Richard Pilon. But watch who gets hurt. Kevin Stevens in wide of the Penguins. He nails Pilon. But he takes the brunt of the blow and goes down face first on the ice. Had to leave the game with a broken nose suffered when he fell and knocked himself out. Ray Ferraro in blue will feed to Dave Folick. Dave Folick at the bottom of your screen, number 25, fires the wrist shot past Tom Barrasso. The Islanders build a 3-1 lead. It would be 3-3 into overtime. First goal wins it all. Ray Ferraro again will feed to David Volek. Volek is the man who will be at the top of your screen. Ferraro, number 20, feeds to David Volek. As they did earlier in the game, Volek scores the game winner. The Islanders upset the Pittsburgh Penguins 4-3, Islanders advance to the semifinals of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Congratulations to Al Arbor. Orioles get good pitching tonight, but no run support for Rick Sutcliffe. Do you realize Rick Sutcliffe has never won in Detroit? Sutcliffe takes the loss. Tigers hand the Orioles their third straight loss, 4-3. Let me correct that. Sutcliffe does not take the loss, but the Orioles lose. Elsewhere in the American League, the Twins edge the Red Sox 4-3. White Sox shut out the Rangers 4-0. In the National League, the game of the night saw the Braves overcome their own mistakes to beat the Phillies 10-7. Let's go to Fulton County Stadium. We're in the top of the first. Tommy Glavine and the Braves trail 3-0. The Phils' Wes Chamberlain to left field. Ron Gant is there. Off of his glove. Ron Gant loses the ball. Pete Incaviglia comes in to score. Phillies build a 4-0 lead. Next man up is Mickey Moore. I know, Ron. How could you possibly drop that? Mickey Morandini is up. Mickey Morandini of the Phillies comes through with a base hit with a runner on. His base hit will be out into left field. This will start off a good play. Morandini, single to left. Wes Chamberlain trying to score. Wes Chamberlain, the throw to the plate. It looks like he doesn't get tagged. But what do you think?
Got him.
But he never touched the plate. Up says, you're out, call him out. Out at the plate, Greg Olson gets credit for the putout. Bottom of the seventh, Braves lead 10-7. Did this man make the catch? Mark Lemke to center field. Len Dykstra, is this a catch or not? Here comes Dykstra. Does he make the catch? He's got that, right?
Yeah.
He's got that all the way, right?
Yeah.
Now he comes up and shows the umpire the ball. He says, I got it. Okay, you're out. Okay, that's the last out of the game. Safe. He dropped the ball. Are you ready for Dykstra to get upset? Len Dykstra gets upset. I mean, furious. Phillies ended up having a wild game with the Braves. The Braves win it 10-7. Time trials tomorrow for the Indy 500. The final day of practice ruined one driver's ride. We're at Indianapolis, the old Brickyard. A major wreck involving Didier Taze of Belgium loses control coming out of turn 4. He slams into the retaining wall that leads you into pit row. A small fire, but Taze miraculously was not injured. Didier Taze, although he doesn't know if he's going to be able to make it, has other equipment and says he feels good enough that he's ready to drive his backup car. I'm George Michael. Final word from Charlotte. The Hornets beat the Knicks 110-106 in double overtime. Knicks lead that series 2-1.
Love the Hornets. Thank you, George.
Thank you, George. More in a moment. Stay tuned.
Good morning. Welcome to today.
The sounds of yesterday.
Help us, please.
Coming back.
Look at me, Willard. I'm all right. This is
Today
on NBC.
Weekday mornings.
KC Masterpiece has created a new taste in barbecue. A drizzle of golden honey, a dab of Dijon mustard. Sweet meets tangy. New Honey Dijon.
We did it.
From the kitchens of KC Masterpiece.
Selecting a new car should be a rational decision. A perfect argument for Dodge Shadow. With this package, you'll get a wealth of options like AM/FM stereo cassette and air conditioning. Plus, you'll get $1,000 cash back, $2,000 if you should decide on a sunnier location, making Shadow very affordable. So, whether you buy, lease, or just want to look, Shadow definitely makes sense. See your nearest Dodge dealer today. We know how to help.
Burlington Coat Factory is now open in Manassas, but you can save on more than great coats because it also has these fabulous designer fashions for women, same as department stores for less. Famous name men's clothes for work, for workouts, for weekends for less. Top name clothes for kids of all ages, baby furniture too, even luxury linens, and more jackets, leathers, raincoats, and coats than anyone. All for so much less at the new Burlington Coat Factory in Manassas.
Retirement home. It's a leisure village.
One free 10-minute call to anyone every month for the rest of the year.
There are lots of people here. I just have to meet them, that's all.
Just think of all the calls you can make.
Well, it's just a friendly game of dominoes.
It's MCI's gift to all friends and family members, even those who join now.
Al, would you believe this? I'm dating.
Simply tell us who you'd like to call free. You can call anyone, anywhere.
Toyota's Spring Value Countdown is on now, and now every Toyota is available with no down payment and no payments for 90 days. Choose from 6 Toyota tough trucks starting under $12,000, including 4x2s with incentives up to $1,500. There's 5 4x4s with incentives up to $1,100, and 4 Toyota 4Runners with the biggest option package savings ever. Even the big T100 Toyota has incentives that could save you $3,000. Get a Spring Value Countdown deal at your Toyota dealer today.
Hello, I'm Mac McGarry. Saturday morning at 10. Teams from Churchill in Potomac, DeMatha in Hyattsville, and Quince Orchard in Gaithersburg, all in Maryland, meet on a playoff match on It's Academic here on Channel 4.
Some kids at a school in New York City got quite a shock when they started watching a movie at recess yesterday. They were supposed to see the Disney film Little Mermaid, but instead they saw a graphic pornographic movie. Parents of kids at Community School 102 in the Bronx went to a special meeting today. They're trying to find out why it happened. Parents said some kids were very upset. They cried, stayed home sick. Someone apparently changed the label on the videotape and had queued it up to a very steamy scene.
I don't consider it to be a harmless, innocent prank because obviously it caused a lot of damage to a lot of youngsters as well as parents and teachers. This is an anonymous type of note that was placed under the principal's door, giving an indication of a suggested name of somebody.
The area superintendent says whoever did it knew a lot about the school. They knew what movie the kids were supposed to see, and they knew where to leave the tape. School officials told parents they'd be more careful about checking tapes in the future.
Well, The Little Mermaid is not part of the weekend movie guide.
No, but it was when it was playing in theaters.
Hey, would you keep the money?
No, I would not.
You would not. There you go. That's 3 for Turn It In.
Catch me. All right, now let's talk about $7 at the movies. Another wave of big movies as the summer season simmers. Hot one for the weekend, Posse, Mario Van Peebles, story of black cowboys in the Old West. It's a great history lesson, and it's the kind of movie that Clint Eastwood fans will love. 3 stars, rough but great. Also opening today, the film of Neil Simon's Lost in Yonkers. Mercedes Rule is better than she was on stage when she won a Tony. A great cast, story of 2 kids spending a year with their stern grandmother and crazy aunts and uncles. 3 stars. New movie in town tonight called Map of the Human Heart. It's a movie that not all of you will like, but some of you will love, a long-term love affair that starts in the Eskimo country. I saw it tonight. I kind of liked it, but not all of you will. 3 stars. Most of you won't, but I liked it. Benny and June is the best in town. Strictly Ballroom is terrific. Dragon is surprisingly good. Lost in Yonkers, Posse, and Dave. Those are the good ones. The rest, Indecent Proposal has a lousy ending. Sidekicks is okay. 3 of Hearts, not too good. Not too good. And Indian Summer in the dark half. There's a couple of real dogs. Have a nice weekend.
You too. Thanks, Arch.
George was being a wise guy. He'd give the money back.
He changed his mind. So that's 4-1 now.
I'd keep it in a heartbeat.
No, you would not. You'd give it back.
See you Monday.
I'd give it back.
Closed captioning provided by Bell Atlantic.